welcome again to TNT Crochet Hookers, where knit happens. Believe it or not, that's the second take because the first one was really bad. So let's get started. We're gonna jump right in, and I'm going to open day 13 for MadScience. And I do not have my scissors because my daughter was borrowing them. May? So this is going to be really not easy to do, but I think I've got it. Ah, there we go. Got it. Okay. Oh, it's green. It's like the one that I had earlier, and you can see it here in the motif that I've gotten done. This is actually this yarn right here. I'm not sure if this is on video. My cameraman was actually being helpful in getting me some scissors. So the motif right here, this is actually the same color as here, so which is nice. I do need more of this, so this will be beneficial because now that the colors are repeating quite a bit, I just want to make sure that I have actually enough to finish this project. I'm really wanting to get this accomplished and not just have it be an ongoing whip. I do have an idea of how I want the other motif to look, and I think when I was talking to my daughters, we're leaning more along something, because you know, it's just like this, where you're in layers, and I don't want it to just be one solid color because I have all these beautiful colors to work with. So I'm trying to kind of layer it and use multiple colors. Yes, I do realize that's a lot of strings to sew in, but I've actually been doing pretty good with it. All of these have caught up, but I'm waiting to see what else is in here before I add to here. But I think at this point I am going to start this section. I'm going to start the next set of motifs and get those going. I'm really leaning towards having this be the little connecting ones, or this. But we'll have to see, because if I don't have enough of this, so on some levels I'm glad that I'm getting multiples because I'll be able to use it quite a bit. We'll see what happens. Today I do, because I did skip yet another day. I know I've been kind of slacking on it a little bit, but I am going to open day 14, and I do have the scissors, my handy dandy cameraman, the other T and TNT, my dynamite, the flame that ignites my love. Yes, I know I'm jibber jabbering. Okay, so maybe not the best of scissors, but here we go. Boy, that's going to be an all-day affair. Alright, here we are. Yep, and it's the same one as this. So, like I was saying, and you may be able to hear my grandson, we have the door open because for what I have on, I would be sweating, again, like a big giant beaver. So, I need to make sure that I'm not super hot, and it is quite nice in Virginia this evening. But my grandson and my daughter are outside playing with our dog, Nellie. So we're trying to get as many distractions out of the house so that we're not doing this at midnight. So it is kind of earlier filming, but these are exactly the same, and that's not a horrible thing. I mean, I can have this go towards the back because once you get back here, it does use a lot more yarn than, obviously, than the center did. So that'll actually work out pretty good. And if you notice, I'm going to have my cameraman kind of loop around. You'll see that all of these are in little cakes. My daughter Amanda, or May, I told her I'd mess up the nickname thing eventually. May actually put them all in cakes for me. She was really sweet and did that for me. But if you look at these, I'm actually getting a pattern going, and I've been discussing it with her. And I think splitting up some of the green here with the fallen leaves and having the ghost lights and then wicked, I think this will actually, and I know you're probably saying, well, this one's already done up. I still have this little bit here, and I think this would actually do a row or two. So, because the pattern that I'm doing, I'm going to start very, you know, it starts very small and then goes big and then goes back to small. So I think I will definitely be able to use this little bit that's left. And what I'm going to try to do is incorporate the large skein that's over here, that I try to convince my daughters to open it and just take a peek to let me know what's in it, or just to say whether or not I'm going to absolutely love it. I already know I'm going to love it, but I was hoping then I could con them into, like, you know, telling me what it is. That didn't work. They just said, no, Mom. So let's open up day 13, and this is Whips on Sticks. Ooh, look at the coral on this. It's like, reminds me of like mermaids, you know, sea creature. It's a sea monster, which would make sense, right? And it was interesting because I was actually getting really worried that I would not, so like if these get mixed up, like especially, you know, my grandson, he loves these. He thinks they're really nice and neat to move around and stuff, and I was like, how am I going to remember where, you know, what went with. I've had no problems. It was like a little game this evening. My daughter Lil, she actually came in and she was guessing what color went with what name, and she did amazing. She actually got them all right, and I was like, see, I really love the fact of how they named them. They just go so well. Like, there's just no doubt that this name goes with this color way. I mean, sea creature. It almost looks like the underwater moss and the teals and everything. If you hear that little giggle, he's trying to sneak in here and, you know, become a YouTube personality. So that's this one, and then we're going to open 14. Now this one's heavy. This one has something in it other than just our normal yarn yummy goodiness. Let's see what this is. Oh, and we have a little sucker, and it's a bubble gum pop. So Bom Bom Boom. Tongue painter. Oh, this could be fun. I'll do it. That'll be nice. That'll be my little treat for later on. Okay. Oh, and this is a nice solid gray. It's almost like a tombstone. You know, when you think grays and everything, it's like this nice, rich tombstone, really. Open. Oh, actually, I should probably. No, it's actually Phantom. It's like Phantom of the Opera kind of thing. It's a phantom, which that would make sense. I mean, the grays. So there's definitely one that I would have leaned towards a tombstone, but they knew best. All right, let's unwind this, because really we're gonna cake these up pretty soon. So I'm trying to keep, and you know, that's a little bit of a chore too, like making sure that you get these caked ready so that once you want to start your project, it's ready to go. You're able to just start moving on with it and getting everything, get a plan going, figure out what's going to ignite your interest, what pattern you can envision, you know, your yaw with. And then, wow, and then we went to a really big, I'm not even used to using big scissors like that. I use tiny little scissors. But that is what we've been, well, I mean, I really do talk to my girls about it. I talk to my husband about it. We all kind of like are incorporated in this project of yarn. And, you know, it is art. It is a form of art, and I'm really looking forward to it, to getting to that final step. Alright, so one thing I wanted to show you real fast is the yarn that I told you that I got from Crafter Noon Treats. I thought it would be nice to show you what it looks like caked. So I did cake one this evening once I got home from work, and it is just as beautiful in a hank or in a cake. So you know that the final project's just going to be gorgeous. She just does such an amazing job, and I'm really looking forward to getting this going. I will tell you, I'm hooked on shawls, or shawls. I know I don't ever say that right, please don't judge. But I really do like the the project books for shawls, and I have all 4 books, so I really think I'm going to be leaning towards that. And Tunisian is actually kind of screaming at me right now with it, because I really want to keep going with the Tunisian, and I've seen where a lot of artists have made shawls with them. I'm really intrigued about doing a Tunisian sweater. I don't think I'm at that level yet at all, but I want to get to that level. So the spark inside has been ignited, and I'm really wanting to achieve that. And it's just expanding my love of, you know, yarn, and how I want to make a project turn into not just a project. It's just not something, you know, that I'm, you know, trying to keep my mind occupied, but it does help. Alright, so that was this. And then I've been talking about the knitting, that I've been practicing my knitting. Well, this hat I actually made maybe about, I want to say 4 or 5 months ago. There is no pattern to this. I just kind of was playing around because I hadn't really used circular needles. So I wanted to kind of test the water. I'd watched a couple YouTube videos, but I hadn't really done anything. So I got some I actually went and just got some basic circular needles and started working with it. And the one thing that I do know how to do is the knit, stitch, and purl. So that's really all this is. Excuse the hair. It's just a simple knit purl, and it kind of looks a little funny because I was making it smaller. So as I was going, once I got to the length I wanted, I just started knitting 2 together, and I ended up with this little bitty nubbin. So I think at some point I'm going to put a pom-pom on this. But then for the cowl, I just decided, well, I want to do, and I've always said I don't really like real tight stuff around my neck because of the surgeries. But this yarn is so stretchy, and it's just really soft. It's not bothering me at all. And you know, as it sits, it'll form up again. But this will be really nice because when, you know, winter, you just want to throw something over your neck, get warm. But I can also have it go up, and it comes off fairly quickly and easy. It's the same exact pattern. It looks exactly like the hat, but I decided to do a little shell stitch at the end. And I am still debating on putting a shell stitch on my hat as well. But my girls were kind of like, I don't know. So I kind of put that off to the side for now. I may even do some fingerless gloves just to match, just to have it as a whole set. But that was my one small little knit project that I've pretty much almost have done. Now this one here is actually from, let me get this open again. It is called, let me actually get it out. Oh, and the yarn that I did for this is when Hobby Lobby had a huge sale, and they were like selling everything for just $1.36. And this is the Fair Isles. I actually purchased it in a couple of different colors. So this one I don't have the tag for it yet, but I do have quite a few of these. The green they had a lot of. So I was able to get, and it's like a green, gray, and almost like a rich, deep, like bluish bluish green, really. And I have it in my Darn Good yarn, and it is a watermelon. It's a watermelon bowl. I was able to get this because, you know, they do all those really neat deals where they email you and they say, hey, we're doing a flash sale. And this was actually, you know, they can be pretty expensive. Oh, and it says Darn Good yarn. These can be so expensive, and I was able to get this one, I believe, for like, it was one of those $5 flash sales. And I was like, okay, I'll get it. Because that's what I've been using this for. Now, so this is what the yarn is for both of these. This one is actually called just simply Red Blue Multi. So this one's probably Green Gray Multi. But these are discontinued. The reason I've only been doing little small projects with this is because some of them I only had 3 balls of yarn, and some of them I was able to get 4. This one I think I only have 3 balls of yarn, but it's just enough of what I need. It's making it work. This one, of course, I decided because I was able to get more of this, I want to make a sweater out of it. Again, knitting skills, not fast. It takes me a little bit. I do hold it in my Knitting I Love needle holder, which I really like because it has a ruler on the back. Let me actually put it this way. There's a ruler. It's in metrics and in inches, so you know, you can, if depending on how you measure your projects, but I do like that. And it's, you know, I like her saying, because it says just try, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to make this flippin' sweater, and it is taking a long time because the first section is all ribbing, so it's knit 2, purl 2. It is a free pattern, so I do not have a problem with explaining what it was. And I'm actually doing this off a tutorial. It is the Simple Slouchy Sweater Knitted Cardigan Pattern for Convenient Beginners. And it's from Yay for Yarn. I recommend it. I mean, knitting is a little slower moving for me, but I do enjoy it. I find it very meditating. And because I've done knit 2, purl 2, I don't feel like I have to count like 1, 2, 1, 2. I don't do that. I just see it and I know it's the same thing I've been doing, so I just keep going with it. Now my other knit project. Okay, I have never blocked before, not ever. So this was a little bit of a project. I do the Annie's Afghan blocks, and you basically get a set of blocks and instructions I guess it's about every 3 months, because I got these a while ago, and I could be wrong, but I only just recently got a new one. And they just tell you the design, they teach you how to do a new knit pattern, and so you have like 3 squares that they give you instructions for with each kit, and they do provide the yarn. Now, I know a lot of people buy the different blockers. I will tell you, I got my little foam here. I got it on Amazon, and it is a kid's play floor. That's all I did, and I was able to get quite a few squares for, I want to say it was $9.99. And I got the free shipping because it's Prime. But this is the first time I've done blocking, and the squares all for this project have to be 9.5 by 9.5. And I sat there with my ruler. Now my ruler is with that whole project. So I've got this project all in one area. I still want to wait like a little. I only just did this yesterday, so I'm really not going to take them off until probably tomorrow. So my next episode, I'll show you what they look like off the blocks. But I'm liking it. As as you can tell, it took a lot of pins because I was very stressed about it not doing it correctly because they were all different shapes, and I was like, oh my goodness, how do these end up working out? And I'm hoping that when I unpin these that they don't just like shrink up and look all insane and not work out, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so that is gonna be it for today. As you can tell, my mind is just reeling on some levels of excitement, enthusiasm. I do love this. To me, I'm very passionate about it. I enjoy it. It really calms me down. It makes me, you know, just, even when I have to count like stitches, to me that's meditating. Because I don't sometimes always need to, okay, let's get for real. I have a grandson. We watch a lot of cartoons, and I don't necessarily need to watch it. So I don't mind listening to the noise or whatever, but I also enjoy just listening to books on tape. I've gotten my husband into doing it, and we enjoy it. We're listening to mysteries, and I gotta tell you, one of the things I loved growing up when my dad was stationed in Germany, and if you know anything about American TV, there's like literally one radio station for the military, one TV channel. Now that might have changed because I'm much older, and you know, that could have changed years ago, and maybe they have multiple channels, but when I was growing up there, and I was pretty much from the age of 12 all the way to almost 16, one of the things we loved was in the evening around 7 o'clock, if we were out and about just running errands, or my mom and dad would take us out onto the economy and we would go to a nice restaurant, a family restaurant that was down there, we would, on the way home, we would be listening, and everything was kind of a drive for us because we lived fairly out in the boonies. But the drive was wonderful because they would always have mysteries on, and it was the coolest thing because we would all just be, you know, and of course we would get home right when we'd find out who done it. So to resolve that, we'd always make a rule that one of either me or my two brothers would have to agree to run up the stairs, hurry up and turn on the radio, and so that we could hurry, everyone can run up the stairs and get in there so that we can hear who done it, you know. But or we would just sit in the car and just keep listening to the radio. But it was something I really liked, and it just really stuck with me. It was one of my fonder memories as a kid. So I actually went to Audible, and again, I don't get endorsed. I'm not being sponsored by anything. I'm just letting you know something that I enjoy and what I do while, you know, doing my yarny stuff. So I will listen to old-time radio stations and how they would always make all the sound effects and everything. We've even found one where it was Sherlock Holmes. We've done Christmas one during the holidays. I'm already prepped for that and ready to go. I've even talked to my sister-in-laws and everyone about it. I just really love that. I don't need the TV necessarily. There'll be times me and my husband, very far and few between, where it's just the two of us home, and we'll just turn on the radio. And it's weird because my kids will get home and we'll all just sit and listen to the radio, and that's okay, and we are a family where we really only have one TV in our house, and I don't know, we all seem to get along enough to where we all like what each other wants to watch, so we're like, yeah, okay. There's never really been, like, that's never really been an issue for us. But these are things that I do while I'm doing my yarny stuff, and I quite enjoy it, and I hope you find something like that too. Find something that's peaceful, that gives you a little serenity while you ignite when working and planning and thinking about and getting inspired by your yarn, because that's kind of what it's about. Work on your craft, work on your art, what you love, and what's going to come out of it is going to be explosive. It's going to be so beautiful, and the joy you will get from it. This little hat I had not knitted in years, and let me tell you, I couldn't stop talking to my family about it. I was like, look, look, look. My husband's driving. I go, look, I finished. I'm done. And he's like, I'm driving, honey. I'm driving. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. And he's always saying that to me because I just get so excited about it. And he's like, give me a minute, Tina. Give me a minute. And I'm like, okay. Are we ready? Are we ready? Here, I'll just stick it on the windshield. And then you can kind of pretend you're still driving and look. No, I know. He's a very safe driver. He knows to like limit me down and like get me to chill out. But see, this excitement, it's never gone away from me. It was sparked years and years ago. My grandmother had given my mom a pair of slippers, and it was just there dormant. Of course, until, you know, I can make money and have my own money, and then I went a little wild. So, you go wild, you ignite, find that dynamite within inside, because all of you are. The passion, the love you have for it, your craft, just go with it. And stay tuned until next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell with the parentheses, because then you'll get notified of when I actually are able to do my episodes. Then also hit like. I always forget to say that part. Hit that like button. And if you want to make a comment or leave a comment, I will definitely, you know, comment back and say hi. So until then, see you later. Bye-bye.